But yeah, Mom is dead. Alice Grethel Helton is dead. She died at 2:30 in the morning Sunday morning. The gods woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, said, "Get up, stay awake." I said, "All right." I got up and I stayed awake. And then that was when the lady at the hospital called me. She died at 2:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. And, you know, am I taking it kind of hard? A little bit. I am taking it a little bit. The funeral home and cemetery are wanting $7,000 to bury my mother. Why so much? I do not know, because everything's supposed to have been paid for. The Frosts are going to prison for murder, and ain't no way they're getting away from this one. Sorry. And I want every goddamn dime of my $7.5 million back in my fucking bank account. Mr. White, Mr. Joe White, county attorney. I want every dime of my $7.5 million in my bank account. My mother passed on Sunday morning at 2:30 in the morning. The gods woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, said, "Get up." And so I got up and I was wide awake and ready to go. And then I got the unfortunate phone call at about 2:30 in the morning. And so, as per my promise this morning, I will be calling the Butler County. Listen to me. I will be calling Clay County Sheriff's Office, and I will be pressing formal charges of murder against James Arnold Frost and Larry Frost. James Arnold Frost of Crane Creek Road, Manchester, Kentucky, and Larry Frost of Oneida, Kentucky. Why? Because they went behind my authority as her medical power of attorney, gave her powerful psychotropic drugs, which made her brain weakened, and then gave her the, which gave her a blood clot that went straight to her brain, killed her dead. Why? Because she was improving. She was getting better. Her memory was returning, and we can't have that, because if her memory comes back, she could testify in court against James, and he would go to jail for grand theft. And we don't want that, right, boys and girls? So we had to kill her. And if Clay County covers this up, which they won't, because I'm going to the mainstream media, but if Clay County does try to cover up a murder from these two, wow, then that's going to be amazing, isn't it? But they ain't going to be able to cover it up, because I'm going to the mainstream media. I'm going to the mainstream media with this one. I'm not going to let these fuckers get away with murder. No, I will not. No, I fucking will not. I am not going to let these son of a bitches get away with. They got away with stealing every dime of money this woman had. And I mean every dime. They got all the money out of her bank account, got all the money out of her house, and then took her goddamn SSI and stimulus checks too. I'm not going to let them get away with murdering her. They stole every dime of money she had, and now they're going to kill her too, and Clay County's going to cover it up? No, Clay County isn't, because I'm going to the mainstream media. I've already emailed all the mainstream media, in fact. Okay, so no, they're not getting away. Not this time. The Frosts are going to prison this time, and there's not a goddamn thing they can do about it. Nothing. Clay County's not going to be able to cover this up, because I've already contacted the mainstream media, and the Frosts are going to go to prison for murder, and I'm going to get every dime of the money they stole back. And that sister property down here, he's going to have to sign it back over to me so that he can pay me back the $7 million he owes me, right? Yes. So I'm getting the sister property back in addition to all the other properties. They're all coming back to me. Everything is coming back to me. All the money, the property, the guns, the cars, property, everything that they've taken plus interest is coming back to me threefold. But anyway, yeah, my mother passed at 2:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. Now, John asked me the other day in a live show, was she dead? Well, I didn't really want to say anything, because I had to contact the media first, and I had to, get everything ready to throw these people in jail, and I didn't want to spill the beans just yet. So I kind of lied. Now, I didn't technically lie, because she really hadn't changed, because she was dead. Dead people don't change much, right? So I technically didn't lie. And I did tell the truth. I mean, I did not have permission from the doctor or Mom to give out any personal information. I really didn't. I was being serious about that shit. However, now that she's gone, I'm going forward with formal charges. The Frosts are going to go to prison for murder. They're not going to escape, because, like I said, I already contacted the media. They're not escaping this one. And if Clay County does try to cover up a murder charge, wow, that's going to be big time news for the media, I guarantee. Because they killed this woman, premeditated, folks. They went behind my back and gave her psychotropic drugs, which made her brain weak, and then they gave her the which killed her brain. Okay, the blood clot formed, it went to the brain, and it killed her. That is premeditated because they went behind my back. It's not accidental, because I know some smarmy ass YouTube troll is going to say, "Oh well, that was accident. It wasn't meant to happen. He didn't mean it to happen." The fuck they didn't. They didn't want her testifying against James Arnold Frost for grand theft. That's exactly why it was done. It was premeditated. It is murder, and they are going to prison because I've already contacted the mainstream media, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, and Fox, boys and girls. Okay, Clay County is not covering up this murder. No, they fucking are not. I want these Frosts in prison immediately, and that's just the way it's going to fucking be. And if you don't like it, tough shit. Oh, and once I get the Frosts in prison, guess what happens next, boys and girls? I'm coming back. I'm coming after the rest of you. As soon as I get their ass in prison, I'm coming after the rest of yous. Now, this is a bunch of shit. Destroyed my family, destroyed my finances, pretty much destroyed my entire life. I got 3 kids crying to come home and can't do it because of a bunch of smarmy assholes on YouTube. Yeah, fuck that noise. I'm coming after you trolls next. Now, this is a bunch of shit. This is ridiculous. But Clay County ain't covering this shit up. This is murder, and they're not covering it up. Any act of death that is premeditated is murder. Look it up, boys and girls. Did they purposely go behind my back and give her psychotropic drugs? Yes. Did they purposely go behind my back and give her the... Yes. Okay, that's premeditated, which means it's murder, not accidental. They didn't accidentally go behind my back and give her a bunch of psychotropic drugs. They didn't accidentally go behind my back and give her the... because they knew for a fact that I would definitely say no. And so, yeah, they're going to jail for murder. Sorry about their fucking luck. And like I said, I've already contacted the mainstream media. So Clay County ain't going to cover this shit up. No, they're not. They're going to have to arrest these fuckers and put them in jail for murder. They don't have a choice this time because the media is going to be down here like fucking flies on shit. Guaranteed. The Frosts are going to prison. And when I get their ass in prison, I'm coming after you fucking YouTube trolls next. Bet on it. Oh, and to that end, ladies and gentlemen, I would remind you, folks, I want to remind you, folks, there are 25,000 of you to date. 25,000 of you. If every one of you contacted the FBI's IC3 website and told them about these YouTube trolls, Secular Opinions show on YouTube, the Trolls, Haters, and Naysayers page on MeWe, and just give them links to all these hate videos about Von Helton. 25,000 of you contacting the FBI would have no choice but to go after these fuckers. There are 25,000 of you people, 25,000 of you, by my best count. Now, granted, that's an approximate, of course. But yeah, there's roughly 25,000 of you folks. If every one of you go to the FBI's IC3 website, just put in a Google search, FBI IC3 website, and it'll take you right to it. You go in there, you fill out a form, you say, here's the links to Secular's hate videos about Von Helton. Here's the links to the MeWe page that they have on MeWe. MeWe is an alternative to Facebook, by the way, for those of you that don't know. But yeah, if you contact the FBI IC3 website and leave them all the links to all these hate videos and say, hey, they've been oppressing this man and his family for years. They got his mom killed. They got his wife driven insane. Now they're they get his kids stolen by CPS every time he turns around. If you tell them these things and you give them the links where all these fuckers are sitting there laughing over this shit, the FBI is forced to do something. I guarantee you, if all 25,000 of you contact the FBI, they will act. I guarantee it. I guarantee they will. Okay. They won't have a choice. There's too damn many of you calling them. And if you just keep contacting them over and over and over again, they won't have a choice. They'll have to do something. But anyway, yeah, they ain't nobody covering this motherfucking shit up because I contacted the media. I already contacted the media. They already know. All right. So sorry about your luck. Clay County is not covering this up. It's one thing to steal money from someone. It's quite another thing to kill them. And Clay County is not going to cover this up. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Joe? Yeah, that's right. Mr. Joe White. Isn't that right, Mr. Joe White? Yeah, you're not covering this one up. Sorry. This is murder, and you're not covering it up. And the media will probably be pounding on everybody's door here pretty soon. Sorry about your luck. These Frosts are going to prison where they belong, where they should have been years ago before all this shit got started. I mean, he had that card how many years now? James Arnold Frost kicked my wife off the property how many years ago now? Yeah. What a load of shit. Let these people get away with this shit. No, not this time, boys and girls, because it's murder this time, and you're not gonna gloss this one over. You're not gonna tuck this under the rug. Not this time. No, they're going to prison this time, and I'm getting every dime of my money back because that's going to be part of the court case. Is that I get all my money back, every dime of it. I want that goddamn Direct Express card that Larry has in his possession because that's my mother's card. I want it back, and I want the PIN number for it so that I can use it. Because his POA no longer exists, boys and girls. Larry's POA no longer exists. When Mom died Sunday morning at 2:30 in the morning, his POA died with her. Oh, Bon, that ain't true. Okay, we'll look it up. Yes, it did. His POA no longer exists. When Mom died, his POA died. Yes, even a durable POA. All POAs expire when the principal expires. That's a fact. That's not my opinion. That is a fact. So Larry has nothing now. He's just an ordinary, everyday citizen now. Yes, Mom died Sunday morning at 2:30 in the morning. I didn't want to say anything because I wanted to contact the media and get some things set up before I let the whole world know about it. Because you can bet 2 seconds after I get it out of my mouth, the trolls are talking about it on YouTube. And I wanted to wait until Monday morning when I could actually get some shit done because you can't get nothing done on the weekend. You just can't. But yeah, Mom is dead. Alice Grethel Helton is dead. She died at 2:30 in the morning Sunday morning. So, yeah. And the Frosts are guilty of murder. The Frosts are guilty of murder. It was premeditated. It was done intentionally so that she wouldn't be able to testify in court against James Arnold Frost. That is a fact. That's not my opinion. That's not a supposition. It's not a theory. It's a fact. And when they saw she was improving and that she would be able to testify, they gave her the because they knew that would kill her. So they knew exactly what the fuck they were doing. It was premeditated. It was not a fucking accident. I don't want to hear this bullshit that it was a fucking accident because it was not. Okay. And yeah, I've already contacted the media. Sucks to be you, fuckers. Try and cover it up with the goddamn media breathing down your neck, Clay County. Because you ain't covering this shit up. No, you're not. And I want every goddamn dime of my $7.5 million back in my fucking bank account. Mr. White, Mr. Joe White, county attorney. I want every dime of my $7.5 million in my bank account, and I want the $2 million that Clay County APS CPS made me use by running me all over the damn state of Kentucky. I want that back too. That's $2 million. That's $9.5 million for those of you that are keeping score. $9.5 million. Then I'm owed $56,880 in back child support. I want that money. Plus, Larry Frost owes me $15,000 in back rent. The Combs owe me $25,000 in back rent. And if there's a way to get that, I want that too. But I definitely want that damn SSI card of my mother's in my possession. And I want the PIN number. I want it back. I'm taking everything back. That's a bunch of shit. But yeah, I've already contacted the media So you're not covering this shit up, Clay County. No, you fucking are not. That's murder. That's murder, and I will not let you cover up murder. I will not. Sorry. But yeah, she died Sunday morning at 2:30 in the morning to a blood clot in the brain. A blood clot that very well could have been caused, most likely was caused, by Larry Frost giving her the behind my back without my authority or approval. And understand that her brain was already weakened by the psychotropic drugs that was issued to her by Dr. Naval via James Arnold Frost. None of that was approved by me. I'm my mother's medical power of attorney. I never approved none of that. The only medication she should have been getting was her blood pressure medicine. That's it. Well, maybe an aspirin, but that's it. That's all she should have been getting. Shouldn't have been getting all this other shit. No way. And Clay County is not covering up this murder. No, they are not, because I contacted the media. Yeah, buddy. Good luck covering it up, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if the media is already calling. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. But they will be. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. They will be. Murder? Yeah, they're not going to let that slide. Fuck no. Especially the murder of an innocent elderly woman that was taken advantage of by some of her distant relatives. Yeah, they're not going to let that shit slide. No. Nope. Not sliding. Not sliding this time. No way. No way. No way, Jose. But yeah, I couldn't say anything Sunday because if I had of, man, it would have been all over YouTube by now. And they'd have tried to spin it back onto me. Yeah, you know how the trolls are. They try to spin everything back onto me. No spinning it back onto me this time. Because I was her medical power of attorney. Nothing should have been done to my mother without my approval. Nothing. And yet they did. They went behind my back and gave her all kinds of medicine and gave her all kinds of stuff. Ain't supposed to do that. And that makes it premeditated, which makes it murder. Period. End of story. But yeah, the Frosts are going to prison for murder. And ain't no way they're getting away from this one. Sorry. They're not going to be able to talk their way out of it. They're not going to be able to pay their way out of it because I contacted the fucking media. Mon, I worry you think too much of the media. They're hardly champions of truth and justice. Well, maybe not. But when they put it out there that my mom is dead and that she's dead because she got the, well, there you go. Because a bunch of distant relatives went behind her son's back and administered stuff to her that shouldn't have been given to her at all. She didn't have dementia. My mother did not have dementia. That was a total lie, literally created out of whole cloth by James Arnold Frost. Now, was she a little forgetful? Yes. Was she forgetful enough to where she shouldn't have been driving? Yes. And I told Dr. Kim that in the emergency room. But I never once said anything about dementia. I never approved of it. Now, if they've got forged documents saying that I did, well, then that's exactly right. They're forged documents. In fact, let's put something else out there right now. My mother had all of her legal documents stolen out of her house. Insurance policies, wills, trust deeds, all that. All the legal documents were stolen out of my mother's house. So if the Frosts suddenly produced legal documents with their names on them, that's fraud. That is a felony. And that gets tacked on to the murder charge. Okay, so if they've got 5 documents in their possession, that's 5 counts of fraud. That's 5 felonies on top of the murder charge felony that they already are going to get. Okay, you get it? You understand? But yeah, all of my mother's legal documents were stolen out of her house, which means if they have legal documents in their possession, they are fake as a $3 bill. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, there are 25,000 of you. You don't even have to give your name. All you got to do is go to the FBI's IC3 website and fill it out and give links to all these assholes that are harassing my family and that caused my mother to die, caused my children to be stolen, and caused my wife to be driven insane. And tell the FBI that. Tell them everything. Just put FBI IC3 website in a Google search. It'll take you right to the website, and then you fill out the form, and then hit send, and the FBI will take it from there. But if 25,000 of you contact the FBI, they won't have a choice. They'll have to investigate. They won't have a choice then, because then it isn't just my word; it's y'all's word as well, not just mine. And the fact that there's 25,000 of you, they won't ignore it. They can't. They can't ignore that many people contacting them about one particular situation. They can't. Okay? They just can't. And good morning, can we all be honest? How are you doing? She died at 2:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And, am I taking it kind of hard? A little bit. I am taking it a little bit. One thing I'm glad of knowing, though, boys and girls, and let's get this straight right now. One thing I'm very glad to know is that my mom didn't hate me. See, you got to understand what was going on behind the scenes. I thought my mother hated me all this time. But you know what I found out? I found out it was that piece of shit, James Arnold Frost, down the road from me here, that had been manipulating her for years. Manipulating her even when I wasn't even a legal adult yet. He was manipulating her. He was manipulating her. He's the one that started all these rumors about mom cheating on dad and dad cheating on mom so that they get a divorce. He was the one that started all this shit. He was the one that told her not to keep her agreement with me to pay off the student loans. Because if I've got a lot of debt over my head, I can't very well defend myself now, can I? Good point, huh? Yeah, exactly. And that's why he told mom, said don't keep the agreement with him. See, it's all premeditated. All of this was premeditated years ago. It was all planned out years in advance. But they had been influencing my mother for years and years and years. They've been influencing her for years. But yeah, I've already contacted the media, so this shit's rolling. This shit's fucking rolling. And Clay County can't cover this shit up. No fucking way, because I ain't going to let them. I ain't going to let them. No fucking way. I ain't going to let them. You don't cover up murder. No fucking way. And like I said, I want every dime of my fucking money back. Every dime of it. The $7.5 million that the Frost stole from me. And if they got to give me that property, the Sester property, then oh well. Too bad, so sad. But you're going to give me back everything I'm owed. And I want the $2 million back from Clay County CPS APS, because CPS APS allowed the Frost to do this. Where was CPS APS when James Arnold Frost was cleaning out my mother's bank account? Where the fuck were they? Oh, they had to thumb up their ass? Yeah. They knew exactly what the fuck they was doing, and they knew exactly what was going on. And they sat on their ass and did nothing. Okay, so yeah, Clay County CPS APS is implicated in this whole fracas. And I want my money back. Every penny of it. Every goddamn penny of it. Now, I might even charge interest. I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely want my money back. No doubt about it. But I am glad to know that my mom did not hate her son. That's the important takeaway from this, folks. The important takeaway from this is that she didn't hate me after all. And I got to find that out before she died. And that it was this piece of shit down the road here that had been manipulating her for years against her own son and against her husband, too. He was manipulating her against her husband and her son for years. Why do you think she sold the family business to some complete stranger in Columbus, Ohio? Why do you think she did that? I had been getting groomed to take over the family business, and she didn't sell it to me? Why? Oh, because she was being influenced. She was being influenced by the Frost. Yes, buddy, she was. Yes, buddy, she was. My dad was teaching me how to run and operate all the equipment in that facility so that I could take it over. How did I find all this out? Just a series of super sleuthing, man. That's it. Just by super sleuthing. But yeah, a whole bunch of rumors were started that dad was cheating on mom and mom was cheating on dad. Where did them rumors come from? They come from that man right down the road there. Absolutely they did. Because he's the one that stands to gain from it, see? He's the one that stands to gain from it. Did she tell me anything? She told me some. She didn't tell me everything. She told me some. But I basically got it through paperwork and due diligence and that sort of thing, you know. Yeah, well, it is sick. That's the thing. This is some sick shit. And the bitch of it is, it was started by a bunch of fuckwads on the internet. That's the bitch of it. It did not. None of this had to happen. But I'm glad now that it's over and that we can move on and that we can put these people in jail where they all belong and get this shit done and over with. But yeah, she died Sunday morning at 2:30 in the morning. The gods woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, said, "Get up, stay awake." I said, "All right." I got up and I stayed awake. And then that was when the lady at the hospital called me. The funeral home and cemetery are wanting $7,000 to bury my mother. Why so much? I do not know, because everything's supposed to have been paid for. I guess because of inflation and taxes and that sort of shit. And so obviously I'm going to need money in order to bury my mother. That's just that simple. But yeah, this shit, Clay County's not covering this one up. Sorry, you're not covering this one up. That's murder, and it's not going to be covered up this time. And I want every dime of my money back, every penny, every fucking penny of it. All right, anyway, I got to get in there and get to cutting, get this design started. Let me bring up my stats here.